Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is going to be episode 10 and 11, I believe. So finally, it's starting to get good, y'all. Finally. It's starting to get. I'm starting to gel with this cast a lot more. Y'all know I'm used to old school Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know. But I'm starting to get with this cast a little bit more. You know, they're starting to grow on me, I guess. Let's go. Okay. So, what we see, the first thing we see is, you know, they're showing different clips of all the ladies and stuff. But we see the adorable little Brooklyn, Kenya's daughter. She's so cute and sweet and kind and, you know, everything the opposite of. Anyway, but anyway, we see her meet her granddad for the first time, which is Kenya's dad, which is a little odd. So I think Brooklyn is like, what? Between like 4 and 7, maybe. I don't know if Kenya explained why they haven't met yet, but whatever. First time they're meeting, and it was nice. Okay, so the main thing is we start to see Ralph. So we see Ralph. He has two chefs there, and he wanted to create the situation where the man is gonna send off the women to Portugal, Sheree's trip, and he wanted to send them off with a nice lunch when all the other men was gonna come over and cook for the ladies. But they actually wasn't going to cook. They had a chef there, and the chef was just telling them what to do and where to place stuff, etc. So it's not like they actually went out to the grocery store themselves and, you know, bought the food and, you know, cleaned the food and prepped the food. Them niggas ain't did nothing but just threw stuff in a pot. Yeah. But hey, it was a nice gesture anyway. I don't know why Ralph is being so nice and sweet and kind. It's really interesting because we all know what's going to happen with Drew and Ralph thanks to the good old social media. And so him being this nice and him and Drew seemingly doing well right before the bomb drops is really interesting. But anyway, it just makes me think that Drew and Ralph are acting, you know, this whole thing out. It really does. It's just giving acting because I've never seen a situation like theirs before where everything is going well to the public, but all of a sudden you just drop a divorce on her, Ralph, out of nowhere, just because of this alleged affair or whatever the situation. Like, come on now, are y'all putting that much fronts on for TV? I can't. But whatever. Okay, so he said, so everybody's starting to arrive one by one. The only two ladies who did not have their man there was Kenya's dude, Roy, and Sheree's dude, Martel, or friend, which is what I like to say. So homeboy, you know, sus. So, let me see. So we see Bryce. Bryce is Courtney's dude. You know, he was in the group Theory, R&B group with Emile LeBron. Tell me what you want me to. Give you all my love. I wanna make it good for you. Da-da-da-da. Everything in this whole world, I've got a message for you. Everything, baby. Love it. Ooh, what she say? Oh, I'm flat. Ooh, baby. Something like that. I didn't prep, darling. Just like they didn't prep that food for real. The chef them did it. I didn't prep my voice for that note, so y'all pray for me. Anyway, so you know, they're doing their thing, whatever. Bryce sees Kenya again. He has not seen Kenya since Twa 2, the movie that she keep trying to get us to remember. Now, I remember Twa. But the world don't remember Twa, Kenya. We don't remember any of your films. But hey, but because I'm in the culture, for really in the culture, and because I you know, grew up watching certain kind of movies and certain situations and stuff. I knew of Twa because I knew of the second Twa with Monica Calhoun and Michael J. White. That's his name? Yeah, I think so. And Tyson Beckford and Ronnie from the Players Club. So I knew of the second one. The second one is my jam, okay? And so that's when I discovered there was a first one, and Kenya was in it. So whatever, but nobody else remembers it, Kenya, but me. So anyway, so you know, and Kenya was talking crap about Bryce. You know, when they got introduced again through FaceTime that time, and Courtney was on the phone with him. Like, Kenya is just Kenya's a beautiful woman, and she's accomplished in her own right. They all are. And Lil Brooklyn has definitely made Kenya more likable, and she has definitely softened up for sure. But that mean girl in Kenya is still there, you know. That's why, once again, I never feel bad when her and Marlo's going back and forth. It's two mean girls being mean to each other. So whoever wins, let them win. Whoever gets defeated gets defeated. I don't feel no kind of way. Kenya continues to display how nasty she can be to people throughout this entire season. She be coming for people saying slick stuff out her mouth for no reason. And then if somebody comes at her, then, you know, she play, you know, what's the problem? You're out of control, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know what Kenya gives. So, you know, once again, that whole thing about Marlo so much worse than Kenya, and she's awful and the worst housewife of all time, and da-da-da. Listen, Marlo is a lot. Marlo is a lot, okay? She's a lot of wrong, a lot of times. Marlo is a mess. She has been for a long time. However, Kenya is nobody's victim. Kenya is nobody's, like, child. Anyway, so let me see. Sheree claims that Martell was sick, blah, blah, blah. They, you know, briefly talk about Scottley. Candy knows Scottley because I guess she went to his restaurant. You know, Candy gonna eat, child. And so, yeah. Let me see. Okay, Kenya starts to talk to Candy about the movie role that her and Todd is doing. Candy says that, well, I appointed Drew with the main role. Like, Drew got the role. And Kenya was just like, well, how you didn't think of me? Like, I don't even have to audition and blah, blah, blah. And Drew just sitting there sipping and child. And Candy chose Drew to do that role because she feels like Drew is a ditzy young girl. You know, she pretends to be that way, and she just fits the mold of, basically, low-key, she was trying to shade Drew, saying that she slow, and she fits that role of, you know, putting no stunts and fronts for people, or pretending that she is not aware of what's going on with Ralph, but she does, and whoop. So really it was shady, but Drew just gonna take the job, because I mean, what else is she gonna do? And so, yeah, hey, get your money, Drew. Get your money, Drew. Okay. Kenya said that she put threesomes on the map. Kenya, I told you don't nobody know that movie but me. Anyway, so anyway, let me see. Kenya's dude called, the white dude, Roy, and Marlo says that, oh, I know him, that's Roy. Then Marlo pulls up this DM of Roy commented on one of her IG stories or whatever. You know, Kenya then feels some kind of way. She was just like, well, obviously he picked the right one, and, you know, throwing digs at Marlo right there. Then if Marlo would have cussed out or reached out and grabbed her, then Marlo would be in the wrong. You know, it's constantly a thing of picking on Marlo, just taunting her till she snaps. You know, it's constantly that, and I don't like that. I don't. Let me see. So after that, Sheree asked Drew, is the chef going to get paid? Because apparently there's this girl going around, or whoever going around, is suing Drew for $1,000 allegedly, saying that she didn't get paid for whatever. Drew said it wasn't that situation. The girl was just somebody who wanted to cook for her. Drew either didn't like the food, or I think she said it was a hair in it, and she didn't pay sus, or however the situation went. Anyway, the girl is suing Drew for $1,000. Which I'm like, that's so petty. $1,000, girl. If you gonna go for it, go for it. $1,000. Drew was on the show. Child, please. How about you suing 50 mil? Nah. So anyway, let me see. Okay, so there was this strange interaction between Courtney and Kenya, where Sheree thanked Courtney for going on this trip because, according to Sheree, Courtney is like brings the peace or the zen. I don't really see that. And Kenya agreed with me. Kenya said, well, she got into it with Candy. I mean, is everything cool? And then Courtney came back at her. She was like, well, girl, please, you would say that, blah, blah, blah. You know, being kind of snappy and condescending. Because that's what Kenya gives, right? And so she touches Kenya, and then Kenya was just like, okay, well, just don't touch me, please. Keep your hands to yourself. And I was like, ooh. But I mean, that was a catty moment between them, and when you're reading somebody, but and Slick have an issue with them, but you're trying not to show it. You're doing it with laughing and stuff. You don't want nobody to touch you because it could turn real quick. Because I'm really reading you because I really don't like you. So don't touch me because, you know, we can stop the smiling and really get to that thing. So, when I first saw it, I thought Kenya was being rude and nasty, because she started it ultimately, but I do understand why she did not want Courtney to touch her. Okay, so, the girls get to Portugal. They arrive there. Candy is sick. She has food poisoning. It's coming out of both ends. I'm not even gonna joke about that because, baby, I've had food poisoning, at least 3 times in my life so far. I hope I don't ever get that thing again. But yeah, I've definitely had it coming out both ends. It is the worst. You literally feel like you about to meet Jesus. Like you feel like you finna look up and he finna be staring at you. It was horrible. It was horrible. And I actually was coming back from Atlanta with some friends. Y'all got sick in the A, child. Well, I was fine while I was there, but when I got back home, baby. Thank God I was home when it happened. Candy, child, she was on the trip in the airport bathroom. It's a whole line. Everybody waiting on Candy. Candy been in there for 2 hours because she just is coming out every end. Bless her heart. Lord. Actually, that's one of my worst fears. Like, to get super sick on a trip, to go to jail in a country that don't speak English. You know, it's just a couple of things. I praise God that I just don't want to be bothered with ever in life. Because, dear God, oh, bless Candy's heart. But Candy came because the girls claim that she always sick and that she always busy and stuff, which she is. She chooses to be that way, though. And, you know, so, hey. Okay. It was split scenes between Sanya and Marlo. And you know, what were they talking about? They were talking about Kenya with the whole Martell thing and how she was so quick to bring up DMs with Martell, but when it came to her dude, you know, oh, it don't matter and it was nothing. Blah. Y'all know Kenya, child. And then Monyetta and Drew, they was talking about Africa. Monyetta has an orphanage in Africa, I believe. That's good. And talk about the whole charade thing with the lawsuits and everything. She just didn't appreciate the comment, whatever. And then Candy and Kenya, they were talking about the whole divorce. Kenya is still technically married to Mark. And she just ain't gonna never get rid of Mark. Mark is in her dreams. Mark is in her mind. Little Brooklyn, she looks just like Mark. She don't look nothing like Kenya. She looks just like Mark. Kenya's a beautiful woman, obviously, but you know, she looks like her dad, you know. And Mark is an asshole. He fine, you know. And the little girl was cute as a button, but that was the best thing Kenya got out of that relationship is little Brooklyn. Cause my God, bless her heart. She's so interesting, that Kenya. She can be so nasty, and not just nasty, but she always is. She will always stand up for herself. She will always be strong-minded and just stern, and she will always be in control when it comes to the women. But I mean, when it came to that Mark, but I don't know. I've never been in love like that. I refuse to be. So I don't know. I don't know how it is to just, lay down on a railroad for somebody. I do that for my mama, but I just don't know. When it comes to the matters of the heart and romance and all that, I just can't be bothered right now in my life. I just can't. It's so much that I want to be. It's so much that I want to do, and I just want to be proud of myself. I don't want the satisfaction of somebody saying they did something for me as to why I'm that girl, I don't know. I went off on a rant. Anyway. Okay. So the ladies go to dinner. They all look fabulous. Courtney talks to Kenya about that she feels like she gives mean girl energy. She does. Kenya thanked Drew in that moment for saying that, she just didn't want you touching her cousin Courtney and blah, blah, blah. But it's just, it was a space moment, whatever. Okay. Yeah, Kenya feels like she don't know Courtney. Courtney has not opened up to her. So she feels some kind of way about Courtney, I guess. And then, how Courtney came in messing with Candy. I didn't even like Courtney. Now I'm starting to like Courtney. Courtney definitely gives more than Monyetta. Monyetta finally showed up to me. I finally saw Monyetta, but she annoyed me with some of her stuff that she do. And so, I did not like Courtney at all. I did not like how she came at Candy. I just didn't like it. It was wrong and silly and stupid and dated. Doing all this just for attention, trying to get on the show. But I kind of like Courtney for the show at this point. I do. And whenever Monyetta comes on the screen, that's my bathroom break. So I don't know. But we're going to pray for everybody. Okay, then Drew and Sheree. So Courtney told Ralph what Sheree said about her because, about the whole lawsuit moment. Because Sheree is still mad about what Drew said that at last year's reunion, when they handed out the She by Sheree, they came and confiscated the products. And this is how much Sheree be lying. All the ladies agreed with Drew that that's what happened. Sheree still didn't give a damn. She said that never happened. I love somebody that's delusional. I live for that. It's so entertaining. And so it's like, well, girl. Drew, she ended up walking out crying. Get to the next episode, child. Drew was out there crying and hooping and hollering. Sanya and Kenya goes to check on Drew, and she's making this whole big scene. She was just like, a lawsuit is a big deal. It's a serious moment, and you're making fun of it, Sheree, and I'm tired of it. And Sheree was just like, okay. I understand. Drew was just doing the most, but it wasn't about no Sheree or the $1,000 lawsuit. It's about Ralph. It's always about a man. It was about Ralph and his foolishness, because Ralph is apparently is in Vegas, child, and when Drew did her video shoot, and Ralph was her love interest, some lady decided to recruit Ralph to be in the Chocolate City, the Magic Mike Black version. And she wanted him to audition or whatever. And Ralph decided to go. Even if Drew didn't want him to go. You'd think Ralph give a damn. So Ralph went to Vegas. And he up there rolling and slow grinding. Hopefully get ready to be in the film, child. I said, well. So she's upset about that. She don't really trust Ralph in this moment. I mean, have you ever, Drew? I mean, damn. Girl, y'all been married for years, way before y'all even came on this show. So what's, and we see all this stuff on TV. So what's been going on all them years before y'all came on TV? Girl, you took it that long, so man, I'll keep taking it. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what to believe when it comes to Drew. Drew has not had a good time on this show since she came. It's I feel bad for her, low key. It's been horrible since she came on the show. I can't remember a fun time she's had for real. It's just the girls, either they pick on her, they've talked about her fashions. We see the way Ralph treat her. You know, it's just been, it's a mess for Drew on the show. It has been. Speaking of mess, her new confessional look with the red wig. The wig is beautiful, but I like Drew. Just my personal opinion. I think Drew's a beautiful woman, right? Really. But Drew looks better in more natural styles, in my opinion. Less is more for Drew. She's a natural beauty, and she don't need all that, the gaga, right? I just don't like that wig, that red wig on her. Either it's the red wig, or maybe it's the makeup. I feel like the makeup is too blah and plain for that wig. Maybe more color on her face or something. It's just always something off with Drew. The confessional look I do love, though, from head to toe, is the black and white with the mohawk and the earrings. Now that's a look. That's nasty. She look good in that. But this red situation, I'm not really feeling it. Maybe add a little lip color, a little blush to the cheeks. You know, give us some color, you know, to the look. I'm sure they wanted to make the wig the main standout of the whole look. You know, the wig is the drama, but you know, sometimes you got to add a little. So her face is just looking naked. Anyway, okay, so y'all, this review gonna be long, ain't it? Thank y'all for watching. Okay, so they go back in the restaurant, child. Sanya, she decided to bring up that she feels like we do a poor job of listening to each other. And Kenya say, well, we can take your opinion and put it in a jar. See? It was funny, but was that necessary to say? See? That's why I don't feel bad for Kenya. They get on Candy and her not really being available for anybody or herself, and her being a workaholic, and Candy just trying to get to the bag. And, you know, I can get mad at nobody for getting to the bag, but, you know, life is still life, and while you getting to the bag, so I don't know, Miss Candy, it's on you, girl. Okay, so it's the next day. It's pouring down, pouring down. They said that they don't understand why Sheree picked the rainy season to go to Portugal. I promise y'all, Sheree is not that deep. Sheree didn't think about nothing like that, child. Sheree was thinking about herself and the healing powers of Portugal. Okay, and she just didn't want to really go by herself, and so she invited y'all. That's all that is, child. So the ladies, they decided to go to the market. Then they were going to have lunch with the food they picked from the market. The chef was going to cook it. Then they was going to go to a pottery class. So everybody's on the bus waiting for Kenya. Kenya walks out late. Now it's pouring down, raining. Kenya walks out with flip-flops and slips, and she ends up hurting her back. I know that hurt. She hit that ground hard. And so she ended up asking Candy to go to the hospital with her. I'm like, girl. But that's what friends are for. Candy decided to go. But at least, hell, if Candy was still, you know, recovering from the food poisoning, then, you know, at least she got plenty clean bathrooms to go to the bathroom at the hospital. So I would have picked one on a hall, ain't nobody on, child, and went to work. Y'all see. Child, they was up there for hours and hours. They finally gave Kenya a rub down and some ibuprofen and said, go home. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me see. Courtney was talking to Drew when Kenya was getting on the ambulance and saying that, you know, it was karma. Because Kenya, this is the second time Kenya, you know, have ended up in the ambulance. And I mean, Cousin Courtney might be on to something. Not that we wish bad on nobody, because we don't, of course. But, I mean, you can't just be nasty to people all the time and expect for everything to work out for you. So, I mean, Kenya was real nasty to them in Alabama. And look what ended up happening. Couldn't even do her showcase. And I mean, I don't know. Uncle Courtney, maybe you the witch. Who knows? Who knows? It's alleged, but who knows? Drew doesn't like what cousin Courtney said, and who cares? Okay, so we get to the lunch thing. Marlo is gushing over Scott Lee. She's showing pics and stuff of him, and Sheree said that Kenya said that it was a Tinder date with her and Scott Lee. I was like, child. Then Monyetta said, it may be a little early, kind of bringing him around the group. And then she also said that she didn't like what Marlo did. She felt like she was trying to take Kenya's shine by saying, "Oh, that's RHOA and I know him." I said, Monyetta, see, I ain't gonna read you Monyetta. I like Monyetta. I do, because I don't like what Neo did to her. I like her. And she's a fun girl. I think she's pretty. I think she's ride or die. I think she's cool. But all this ass kissing you doing. You see, Drew and Courtney is cousins by marriage. She got her family on the show. And she don't even be all up Drew's ass. So, Monyetta, stop. You ain't got to do all that to show your loyalty. Just be normal. Just be yourself. Give everybody a chance. Courtney is cousins with Drew. And she on opposite sides of the track because it's divided. The group 4 and 4, and she on the other side. She ain't on her cousin's side. Like, girl, cut it out. We know you good friends with Candy and Kenya. So anyway, Martell, he called Sheree, child, because he wanted the tea and what's going on with the other girls, and let me see. Sheree brings up Candy and saying "and seen" to Drew when she got up and left. Because Candy had to go to the bathroom, child. When Drew was outside crying and hooping and hollering. And Marlo, she apologizes to Drew. And Drew said that I need to see change behavior from you, Marlo. I'll accept this apology, but you need to change. And I'm cool with that, Okay, so then we see the ladies are doing pottery. Marlo points out that everybody gets along when Candy and Kenya's not there. I agree, but I don't agree. I don't think for the most part Candy bothers nobody. Candy is very much so a person, won't start none, won't be none for the most part. Now, Kenya is a different story. Kenya definitely is interested in the mess like she has been since she came on season 5. So Kenya is that girl that would stir up something, not more so Candy. So I think if Candy was there, as long as y'all not asking questions and trying to start stuff with people, I think it would be fine. But that Kenya is, yeah, I agree. So I agree with Marlo, but I disagree. Okay. Monyetta and Sanya, they act like they're arguing. It was funny. It was nice. Let me see. We get to the whole slumber party scene. Sheree, she decided to have a slumber party since the weather was a hot mess. Candy and Kenya is back from the hospital. Sheree points out that Candy looks like Cleo from Set It Off. I hollered and screamed. Let me see. So the ladies are sitting down, just checking in with everybody. They asked Sanya about her sister and the whole event and how her sister left. And, she says that she loves her sister, obviously, but maybe they just need to not stay together. And that is the truth. Just because you love somebody, just because somebody's your family, at the end of the day, y'all all are adults. Y'all all have your own routines. Y'all all like doing stuff, a certain kind of way. Everybody just need their own space. It just no longer works once you become an adult, with your family. It just don't usually. Because everybody want to do what they want to do, right? And what can you tell them? They grown as you, So, yeah. So hopefully, Sanya's sister and her husband and kids, find themselves a nice home. And most importantly, hopefully, Sanya and her sister's relationship will be fine. But I feel like it will be, So, as long as you keep your sister off the show, Sanya. Your sister and mom and them got real comfortable on that camera, dog you out. As long as you keep them off the show, you can keep a solid relationship with your sister. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then we get to like the ending scene, and the cameras have cut off apparently. So they're filming from Marlo's iPhone. Child, and then they start to talk about the situation with Bolo when LaToya Forever was there. And they bring up a situation where Drew was kissing Latoya. Drew claimed that she never kissed Latoya, and Latoya apologized to her for saying that. But Candy was just like, you did kiss her, Drew. I'm gonna go back to my room because I ain't lying. Drew, you did kiss her. You did. You know, Candy was getting stressed. And Drew claims that she didn't kiss her child. And so then they show scenes for the next episode where Drew is allegedly kissing Ty. You know, Mimi Foss from Love and Hip Hop, her on again, off again girlfriend. Ty fine, no, child. I don't blame you, Drew. Hey. But you're going to have to own up to something, child. You know, I like me a good old stud muffin. So, Drew, I don't know. And Drew just started crying, child. So, I don't know. We don't know what to believe when it comes to the Sadoras. We don't. That's a good name, though, Sadora. Drew Sadora. Sound like that's definitely a star's name. It's definitely at least a porn star. Anyway, with that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at @iskinsor Instagram and Twitter, at @iskinsor89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, MrChalaki on Cash App and PayPal, Chasey Boy on TikTok. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.